American Club Racer, ACR, right? In the Viper world, Gen 4, Gen 5s, those were the meanest, nastiest, highest performing supercars that Dodge had ever built. But if you're in the know, you know there's an easier way to get into an ACR. Today, we're going to find out about it. Kenny Ellis has two neon ACRs, the original ACR, the original factory-built race car from Dodge. We're going to find out all about it today right here on the Dodge Garage Download. How'd you get hooked up? And I mean, I've seen like on your Facebook page and whatnot. I mean, you're into cars as a whole, but why this fetish with neons now?
Well, so when I was growing up, when I turned 16, my very first car was a 97 Dodge Neon. Being 16, that's what $500 down payment could get you. It was a white sedan, twin cam, and it was the sought after 3-speed automatic. So I had that, and ever since then, you just grow up with it. And a lot of people say it, and I think it rings true. Your first car that you get yourself is always kind of lives with you. And if you're a car person, everybody who's a Chevy person, a JDM person or something like that, usually it rings back to what their first car was, so it was my first car. I actually got a 99 as well. And then after that, I had a 2003 SRT4. And then I enjoyed that, got in a lot of trouble. But then I moved over to Subaru for a while.
I saw do you still have the SVX? I saw pictures you had posted.
Yes. She's actually in storage right now to make room for the display today. But yeah, my other half has a SVX. I believe it's a 91 or 92. It's the one before they had the automatic seat belts. It doesn't have those. But yeah, we have that. It's got a 5-speed swap in it, manual swap in it.
Dude, that's a very cool ride then.
Yes. Yeah. It's very, very neat.
I know we're on a Dodge show, but look, I'm a car guy. Those are really neat because they're same thing, right? Oddball cars. You don't see them very often, very little at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We kind of have an eclectic collection between us, but Dodge is kind of, I went a little overboard with them, so I have they make up for a good percentage of the fleet. So
how many do you have right now?
Currently, I have 4. Basic, and it's easy because they're cheap. Why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, I have 2 ACRs. I have the sedan, and then I have a coupe, and then I have 2 RTs, and again a sedan and a coupe version of both of them. So nice variety.
So let's cool. Which one do you want to start with? What do you want to show us first?
Oh yeah. How much time do you have? No,
I know, right?
This is the 95.
So this is the one that got you and I talking because we're on a shared Facebook page. It's an oddball. It's an underappreciated survivors is the page that we're on. And it's, there's usually some interesting vehicles on there, but when this popped up, I literally looked you up because I'm like, we've got to talk. You're clearly my kind of person. We got to talk.
Yeah. It's the quick rundown. I think there's probably more to it than I'm having my brain, but it's a 94 technically, but it's a manufacturer year 95. So in 1994, they actually pulled 182 base model sedans, all white, and basically took everything off, put all the ACR suspension, goodies, brakes, everything on them, and then sold them to SCCA license holders to kind of try to get them to be raced. Dodge, I believe Dodge had a lot of incentive programs as well for people who could bring back trophies and, be on the podium with them. So it was a real big, I think it was just kind of a big, deal with Dodge to kind of get the word out there and get them started and stuff like that. So after 95 started, ACR became just a normal package and you could get options with it and, history from there. But this one's kind of one of the, I call it rare. I don't like to throw that word out, especially with neons, but it's kind of one of the first if you will.
Does it have the radio delete, AC delete, all that stuff, right? So that's all out for saving weight.
It has nothing on it. Yeah, that first run, the 180, the 182, that first run, there was nothing. You couldn't even option anything. They gave it. They didn't have anything on it, and that's what you got. And then 95, then you could add in like AC, a rear defrost, stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's super fun. I really like it.
I see it's got a roll cage in there. Now, was the roll cage part of the package, or did that have to get added in afterwards?
No, I believe legally they can't sell anything with a roll cage. So yeah, the roll cages were all added in after. The ones that were used for the multiple Cup series and challenge series and stuff like that, they were all bolt-in.
Yep.
I think, I don't know, don't quote me, but I think because of regulations, they couldn't be welded in for whatever reason.
Sure.
But this was the original bolt-in cage from when the previous owner did race it. So, it's kind of stayed with the car, if you will.
Dude, what a cool story. So how did you wind up with it? You said, so there's somebody else owned it, but has there been 20 different owners in this car's history? Or, I mean, it looks like it's beautiful.
Well, so it does have a fun little deal with it. I'm actually the second owner of the car.
Nice.
So which makes it even better. But the previous owner was actually a gentleman who owned a Dodge dealership up north. So he bought it, and when you look at the paperwork, it's registered as a fleet vehicle or a corporate vehicle, because it was registered under the dealership. So he bought this and another one. They basically prepped them, and he went around racing them throughout the country, just kind of having fun and promoting his dealership, doing his thing. And after I think 2 or 3 years, he retired them as race cars, and because I think he also kind of retired himself from racing at that time. But he basically used the car for a shop and parts runner for his dealership. And I think that's how it spent the majority of its life, running parts. And he said that basically his dealership kind of got slow, his body shop and repair shop. It was just like a slow dry period. And he was like, you know what, this car has been through a lot. I'm gonna refurbish it. So he literally bought anything new he could. He had the car prepped and repainted, and just literally fully restored. So everything on it is basically either new or, still original to the car.
I dig it, Kenny. I really do. All right. So next one over, and I've already seen the graphics in the background there.
Oh, yes.
So that clearly that's the other ACR. You've still got the full Neon Challenge logos on it.
Well, I had them recreated.
Sure.
So yeah, this one is actually underneath is just a black ACR coupe. It's a 97. Again, it also is just, there's no radio, there's no AC, there's no nothing, it's just bare bones. As well, it's just the twin cam coupe version. And I had the second iteration of the Challenge Series livery recreated on it. So there you go.
All right, you're gonna love this. Okay, I've got something special for you here. All right.
Okay.
So my buddy Jason Quinn. Jason is he was a part of the team. He and I worked together for years and years and years on the old SRT track experience, the Dodge Thrill Ride program. But back in the day, he was a crew chief on one of the Neon Challenge Series cars. Hang on here. Check out what he's got for me. He had given me this ages ago.
Too cool.
Right on. Yeah. So there we got on the back side over here. Whoops, hang on here. Dodge Neon. Okay. But hang on, there's more. Wait a minute. There's this. Oh, you can see my green screen behind me.
There you go.
That's pretty funny. But anyway, so he's got that one over here. And then, wait a minute. Hold on. That's not the only one. There's more. And then there's this guy.
That one's cool. I like that.
And then, hang on, let me flip it around here. Of course, with the original Neon High advertising campaign. I'm like, that is just too cool, man. Because he knew, I'm a road course guy. That's been my background forever. And I had a Neon. He gave those to me years and years and years ago. And he was actually, when I knew you and I were going to talk, we were texting earlier today. And I was asking him, like, hey, man, you got any good stories to tell and whatnot? He's like, I'm driving. I'll text you later. So I'm sure I'll wind up with some dirt out of him in a little while. But that's pretty outstanding, dude. So, hey, I before we wrap this thing up,
Sure.
Anybody that's watching this, that's into these cars and they really want to know more about them, what kind of resources are out there? If somebody asked you, said, "Hey man, I'm kind of interested in getting in on this thing," where would you send them?
Well, I spend a lot of time on it's neons.org. It's kind of the forum. Everything has really converted to Facebook, so there's neons.org Facebook group, and there's a bajillion Facebook groups. But the org or the forum is actually really good for, because it still has a lot of archive stuff, a lot of old stuff that people worked on and stuff like that. So it's really good, especially for these cars, because they are older. Back when we were doing this and working on them, that's what we had. So there's a lot of information on there, and then of course the Facebook groups. They're usually pretty good depending on which one you you venture into. So, but yeah, I think that, and just word of mouth. It's a great group of guys. Most of them have been into them for a long time. Honestly, I haven't met anybody who jumped into the first gens recently within the past few years. It just doesn't happen. Everybody who is into them have been into them since the 90s, late 90s and stuff like that, so they know their stuff.
That's awesome, man. Well, I can't thank you enough for the time today. I'm
Oh
so
yeah.
glad we were able to hook up. Thank you. It's been so much fun, and get out there and enjoy those cars. You're the keeper of some very special rides.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.